All right, good morning, sixth graders. Today we are studying the Mesopotamian social structure. Before we begin, please fill in the blanks with the words in your word box on your page. There are 6 parts that make up a civilization. We remember them by using the acronym PERSIC. The United States has all of the parts of PERSIC, so it must be a blank. In order to have a government, culture, and economics, people had to live in one place. For cities to be built, they needed to farm, and in order to farm, people had to invent blank to get water to the dry land. Once farming began, civilizations grew in between the Tigris and Euphrates in a place called blank. These groups of people developed their own communities and their own way of life. They had different jobs and traded different goods, which is all part of blank. They also had time to develop their own blank by creating art and music in their cities. Today we are going to dig deeper into our first civilization, Mesopotamia. So if you have left any blanks unfilled, please take 1 minute to fill them in now. All right, welcome back, and go ahead and check your answers. These are the correct answers for the fill in the blank. The question we're going to be answering today is, what was Mesopotamian society like? And the first thing we're going to do today is take a couple notes on religion in Mesopotamia, because religion played a huge part in Mesopotamian society. Go to this page and go ahead and fill in the notes. On the left side, it says, why was religion important in Sumer? The first thing you should be writing is people believed in many different gods, and this is known as polytheism. This is important because people believed that they needed to honor the gods and make them happy for their crops to grow. On the right column, we have, what are ziggurats? A ziggurat is a Mesopotamian religious temple. They were built to honor the gods, and only priests were allowed to go in them. Our next directions are to read and annotate the passage below, then answer the questions to prepare to ace your exit ticket. Life in ancient Mesopotamia was dictated or ruled by the belief in the will of the gods. Most actions and systems in Mesopotamia are related to the people's desire to show devotion or love to the gods. Ancient Mesopotamians believed in 7 gods. The gods were considered to be temperamental and unpredictable. So people spent their lives trying to please the gods and make them happy. Mesopotamians built ziggurats and statues to honor the gods. Priests were the only ones allowed in the temple on top of a ziggurat. Twice a day they brought the gods food to keep them happy. Right here we have an image of a ziggurat temple. This area right here is where the priests were only allowed to go, and they brought them food. The common class and slaves in Mesopotamia constantly prayed to the gods to show their devotion too. They even made statues of them praying so that when they could not pray, their statues were still praying. Farmers prayed to the gods for rain and good crops. If something bad happened to them, they believed it would be the will of the gods. People in the common class even played music to honor the gods. So you're going to use the passage on your page to answer the 5 questions below. Question 1 on your page asks, what parts of Persic did cities in Sumer have based on what we learned today? So I give you a reminder here, Persic is the 6 characteristics that make up a civilization. P is for political structure, E is for economy, R is for religion, S is for social structure, I is for intellectual achievements, and C is for culture. Go ahead and take a minute to answer question number 1 on your page. Welcome back, and here is my exemplar answer, and you should have something like this too. Based on what we read, cities of Mesopotamia had religion. That's the R part of Persic. The passage mentions how people built ziggurats to honor the gods, so I can tell this is a major part of their civilization. They had religion, so that is the R of Persic. Question number 2 on your page asks, what is a ziggurat and what were they used for? Describe why they were built. Take 1 minute to answer this. My exemplar answer is, a ziggurat is an ancient temple that Mesopotamians built. They were used/built to honor and show devotion to the gods. Make sure you have something like this on your page. It is now your job to answer questions 3, 4, and 5 on your page, and be prepared to share your answers in the teacher-led station when we switch. Lastly, and as always, make sure you keep it 100.